First of all, I'm really honored to be part of this today. It's a great to have everybody back, and congratulations to all of the inductees this year. I'd like to welcome you back to campus as well. Richard Ryder from a great era of football at Muskingum, Steve Kokovich, who's been our faculty rep for a number of years, and he's also lent my two boys some fishing equipment here and there, so that's been fun. Kristen Vasicki McLean, who I actually got to watch while I was here, so that was kind of cool to see her dominate the court. And then, of course, our very own Cheryl Davies, how I know her, Cheryl Davies Ficco, for women's soccer. And I hope you all do enjoy your day today, be a part of everything, and I'm glad you could all come back for this. I'd also like to welcome my two captains for this year. We have Mariah Matthews and Carissa Myler in the house, who have really led our team to one of our, it's our best start this year. So I'm happy that they could be a part of this as well. All right, now on to Cheryl. She might need braces now. That was the quote from 2001 that was the most spoken on our team that year. That was what was remembered that year. Had nothing to do with our best season that we'd ever had. Had nothing to do, of course, with, that was the first year and only year we've been to the Final Four for the OAC, but she might need braces now. Those 5 words had to do with Cheryl Davies Ficco. And that might just be women's sports the way they are. You kind of downplay the, oh, we're so great, blah, blah, blah. And it's more about the individual. And so Cheryl Davies, tiny but mighty, probably 5'3", 110 pounds, I would guess, was a force on our team that year. So let me talk to you a little bit about her and about the program at that time. She played from 2000 to 2003. Some really wonderful things and some very traumatic things happened during those 4 years in our program and in the world. We're talking 2001. So 2000, that was her first year. That was the first year we moved to our new field, which was the grass at that time. At the time, since it was just, the trenches were just dug in for the what is it called, the irrigation system. So we spent preseason with cones in our hand, picking up rocks, throwing them off the field just to get it ready to play. That was also the year that President Steele, she came out, I think she probably still had heels on, but she did our inaugural kickoff for the first game, so that was kind of interesting. 2001, of course, September 11th, that's the day that lives in infamy, but a little strange to be, part of your season and figuring out what you're doing for practice and the upcoming games. But that was also the year of my most memorable account of Cheryl, and probably the team's most memorable. That's why the quote, she might need braces now. It was a rainy day. We were traveling to Marietta. It's pretty muddy down there. Visibility not very good, but Cheryl went into a collision. This girl was aggressive. As little as she was mighty. Went into a collision with their keeper straight on, and the keeper's knee went right into her mouth. So Cheryl's teeth, and it's probably good I don't have a picture of this, and I might have been in shock as much as she was in shock, because her teeth were straight back, just straight back. With a mouthful of blood, probably by today's standards, she was concussed. Back in the day, she just got her bell rung. But anyway, they had to take her to the hospital. The game went on. It was the ever proverbial play for Cheryl moment, and we did go on to win 1-0. But the girl was so tough. With her mouth wired shut, she had to miss the next game. But she came within a week. She was back on the playing field, out there, taking the team to victory again. So that's our most memorable memory of Cheryl. A lot of people suffer these traumatic incidents, and they might come back a little cautious, but you just wouldn't have ever been able to tell that was what happened with Cheryl. Her grit and tireless play picked up right where she left off. We went on to go to the Final Four. That's the first and only time that men or women's soccer has gone to the Final Four, and she was definitely at the helm of that. The next year was 2002. She continued to dominate, earned all OAC honors, academic all OAC honors. But that was the season that was best known for the accident. I guess if you categorize every year, looking back, that was the accident year. And basically, again, late in the season, a rainy day. We don't do so well with rain, but We were coming back from the field house from a practice, getting ready for BW to play them on the turf, and a car hydroplaned in the westbound lane on Interstate 40 and came flying in and crashed into one of our vans. So we had some injuries on our team. Cheryl wasn't part of, she wasn't injured on that one. But being a part of that, the other family, the daughter was in critical condition, and then her mother did pass away from it. So it was a rough ending to our season that year that Cheryl, helped pull the pieces back together. After all the ups and downs of her first 3 years, her senior season was capped off with All OAC, academic All OAC, and then the program's first academic All-American. All 4 years that she was part of the program, we did earn the Team Academic Award and the Team Ethics Award for no red cards, and Cheryl's 4.0 was very instrumental in that, and also her sportsmanlike behavior on the field kept everyone in check. Looking up some stats, and you've got them in there. She's a 2-year captain. She finished second, and she still holds this record. Second in career goals with 26, second in career assists with 16, second in career points with 68. We also incidentally had the most shutouts the years that she was here with 5. But what I remember, I had to look those up, and being the wife of a sports information director, I better get it right. But what I remember, she was just a real playmaker. She was your center midfielder. She is like the quarterback in football. So it's kind of funny that she was second in all this. Who's first? Vanessa Warnock was first, stellar in her own right, but she was a forward. Cheryl's the one making the pass, feeding the play. She's the one that is instrumental in organizing the attack, and then also defending. Boy, she could slice and dice. She was quick. She was technically and tactically gifted on the ball. She was the most fit player on our team. Must be mile holder for any of you who ever have seen that. She's 10:27. I'm just going to throw the time out there because it blows anything away. That'll be there forever. Fittest player on our team. She even ran track for a couple years, and of course she's got a record on the team, the 4x8. Named co-captain of the track team, and she only ran for a couple years. Just a coach's dream. She, into her teammates, you might look at her like, oh gosh, she can do everything. But it wasn't like that. Her teammates had to respect her, and they had to love her because she was so humble. Her humility, when you see this video, she doesn't even like to be in the limelight. She's very quiet on this video, and it's very reserved. She comes from a reserved family as well. Her brother, I talked with him, and her dad, her parents, very quiet, but when she spoke, you listened, because she had a lot to say. Her grit, hard work, she never cut corners, relentless spirit, quest for excellence no matter what the domain, the classroom, the field. She ended with a 3.95 GPA, degrees in both public accounting and business, and graduated summa cum laude. She's also our Clyde Lamb honoree. She went on to earn her MBA from the University of Florida, and then she's traveled since then. She's had jobs in Miami, Florida, and Tennessee, and currently she is in Kansas. So she just moved there last month. She's getting ready to have her first child. Hence her condition, she's not able to be here today. So all kinds of new beginnings for her. Got married a couple years ago. So I'm honored, it's my pleasure to introduce the very first women's soccer player to enter Muskingum's Hall of Fame, Cheryl Davies Ficco. Accepting on her behalf is her brother, Jared Davies. And I will have you notice in this video, her teeth are beautiful, and she did not need braces, and those are all original teeth.